The boy in the box is the name given to an unidentified murdered victim, a 4 to 5 year old boy whose naked, battered body was found in a bassinet box in the Fox Chase section of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, on February 25, 1957. He is also called America's Unknown Child. His identity has never been discovered, and the case remains open. In February 1957, the boy's body, wrapped in a plaid blanket, was found in the woods off Susquehanna Road in Fox Chase, Philadelphia. The naked body was inside of a cardboard box, which once contained a bassinet of the kind sold by J.C. Penney. The boy's hair had been cropped, possibly after death, as clumps of hair hung to the body. There were signs of severe malnourishment, as well as surgical scars on the ankle and groin, and an L-shaped scar under the chin. The body was first discovered by a young man who was checking his muskrat traps. Fearing the police would confiscate his traps, he did not report what he had found. A few days later, a college student spotted a rabbit running into the underbrush. Knowing that there were animal traps in the area, he stopped his car to investigate and discovered the body. He too was reluctant to have any contact with the police, but he did report what he had found the following day. The police received the report and opened an investigation on February 26, 1957. The dead boy's fingerprints were taken, and police at first were optimistic that he would soon be identified. However, no one ever came forward with any useful information. The case attracted massive media attention in Philadelphia and the Delaware Valley. The Philadelphia Inquirer printed 400,000 flyers depicting the boy's picture, which were sent out and posted across the area and were included with every gas bill in Philadelphia. The crime scene was combed over and over again by 270 police academy recruits who discovered a man's blue corduroy cap, a child's scarf, and a white handkerchief with the letter G in the corner. All clues that led nowhere. The police also distributed a post-mortem photograph of the boy fully dressed in a seated position, as he may have looked in real life, in hopes that it might lead to a clue. Despite the publicity and interest throughout the years, the boy's identity is still unknown. The case remains unsolved till this day. On March 21, 2016, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children released a forensic facial reconstruction of the victim and added him into their database. In August 2018, Barbara Venter, the genetic genealogist who helped identify the Golden State Killer using a DNA profiling technique, said she is using the same method to try to identify the boy in the box. Amateur groups that use online databases such as the Doe Network and Web Sleuths have also tried to solve his identity. Many tips and theories have advanced in the case over the years. Although many of these have been dismissed, two theories have generated considerable interest among the police and media, and they have been extensively investigated. The first theory is the foster home theory. This theory concerns, of course, a foster home that was located about a half a mile away from where the body was discovered. In 1960, Remington Bristow, an employee of the medical examiner's office who pursued the case until his death in 1993, contacted a New Jersey psychic who told him to look for a house that matched the foster home. When the psychic was brought to Philadelphia to the discovery site, she led Remington directly to the foster home. Remington Bristow attended an estate sale at the foster home and discovered a bassinet similar to the one sold at J.C. Penney. He also discovered blankets hanging on clotheslines that were similar to the one in which the boy's body had been wrapped in. Remington believed that the boy belonged to the stepdaughter of the man who ran the foster home, and that they disposed of his body so the stepdaughter would not be exposed as an unwed mother. He theorized that the boy's death had been an accident. Despite the circumstantial evidence, the police were not able to find any definite links between the boy in the box and the foster home. Another theory was brought forth in February 2002 by a woman identified only as Martha. Police considered Martha's story to be plausible, but were troubled by her testimony as she had a history of mental illness. Martha claimed that her abusive mother had purchased the unknown boy, whose name was Jonathan, from his birth parents in the summer of 1954. Subsequently, the boy was subjected to extreme physical and sexual abuse for 2.5 years. One evening at dinner, the boy vomited up his meal of baked beans and was given a severe beating, with his head slammed against the floor until he was semi-conscious. He was given a bath, during which he died. The details matched information known only to the police, as the coroner had found that the boy's stomach contained the remains of baked beans and that his fingers were water wrinkled. Martha's mother cut the boy's distinctive long hair, accounting for the unprofessional haircut, which police noted in their initial investigation in an effort to conceal his identity. Martha's mother forced Martha to assist her in dumping the boy's body in the Fox Chase area. Martha said as they were preparing to remove the boy's body from the trunk of the car, a passing male motorist pulled alongside to inquire whether they needed help. Martha was ordered to stand in front of the car's license plate to shield it from view, while the mother convinced the Good Samaritan that there was no problem. The man eventually drove off. This story corroborated confidential testimony given by a male witness in 1957 who said that the body had been placed in a box previously discarded at the scene. In spite of the outward plausibility of Martha's confession, police were unable to verify her story. Neighbors who had access to Martha's house during the stated time period denied that there had been a young boy living there and dismissed Martha's claims as ridiculous. The boy in the box was originally buried in a potter's field. In 1998, his body was exhumed for the purpose of extracting DNA, which was obtained from the enamel of a tooth. He was reburied at Ivy Hill Cemetery in Cedar Brook, Philadelphia, which donated a large plot. The coffin, headstone, and the funeral expenses were donated by the son of the man who had buried the boy in 1957.